Becoming an artist. So apparently, if you want to be professional, you need to set up your social medias, get on Instagram, post on Instagram, and that's the only way that people can find you. That's what we were told. It used to be the case 5-6 years ago where you could go on a website like Instagram, set up an account, post semi-regularly, and start to build a bit of a following. At one point, when I was sort of going it quite hard, it got to the point where every time I posted, I would get, say, between 500 and 1,000 likes and, I don't know, 10 to 15 comments per image, per artwork that I posted on Instagram. And then it just went down and down and down. And if I post the same sort of stuff now, maybe even better stuff than, now my sort of quality level's gone up a little bit over the last few years, it doesn't get that. It gets closer to sort of 10 to 50 likes and maybe, if I'm lucky, one comment. And I've said before, I don't care about the likes and the comments from a sort of egotistical, wanting everyone's admiration point of view. It's not some kind of weird, look at me type attention seeking. It's literally just trying to build an audience, trying to find people that like what I'm doing and potentially enough to support what I'm doing so that I can do more of it and bring more cool artwork into the world. Everyone would love to do that, well, maybe not everyone, but anyone that has artistic inclinations would quite like to go down that route. Social media wasn't working, or it's not working now. So I thought, okay, let's try thinking outside the box. What could I do to maybe get myself out there? So I had a little look around. One thing that I tried was this website called Bark, which basically connects regular people with professionals. I thought, okay, I've never heard any artist ever talk about using Bark as a way to seek commissions or work. So, I thought I'd test it out. So this is just going to be me quickly explaining what I think of it. Should you use Bark if you're an artist or a professional moving forward in 2025 and beyond? So when you first visit the Bark website, this is what you're presented with. So find the perfect professionals for you, get free quotes within minutes. So the idea is that there are a list of professionals who will, quote once they receive an email from you to try and bid for your project or work. It's a crowdsourcing platform, basically, the same as Upwork or Fiverr, freelancer.com, .net, that kind of thing. Is it any good for artists? Is it any good for anyone? Like, I don't know how many people regularly get work through Bark. I can imagine things like sort of building services maybe, and like, okay, here we go. We've got gardening, house cleaning, paint and decorating, that kind of thing. I would imagine, you could probably do okay with Bark. As an artist though, let's just see what would happen if I wanted to hire an artist. So basically you just say, I want, there we go, I want artists, and let's just put in a postcode, just making something up. Type any, what sort of project you're working on, any. I'm trying to make up a postcode that doesn't exist. Oh, there we go. Then you evaluating requirements, sorting through matches. Great, we've got perfect matches. So this blurry thing behind it, I don't know if this is actual people or this is just, I think this blurry, it looks like behind the perfect we've got great matches box is like, there's a list of all these highly qualified professionals that they got reviews and things. I think this is just a standard image that gets posted because I don't think there's that many artists using this platform. So don't be fooled by all these apparent artists that are queuing up waiting to do your project. I mean, I can even see from the blurry little thumbnail that looks like a fitness sort of image. The one below looks like a cleaner. Can't really tell about that, but you know what I mean? It's like, these aren't artists. Anyway, little things like that bug me because it's just, it's a bit of a sort of deception. So okay, I'll continue. Then you got to put your email address in, then you're in the system, blah, blah, blah. So what would happen? I'll show you. So basically, if I go to my email account, this is what I get. So from the back end, because I've registered with the website and I've said that I'm an artist looking for art-related jobs, I'll get this. So it'll basically say, somebody from a number who you can't recognise and an email who you can contact directly has contacted you, and then it says about their project details. So this one is an example saying, I would like a plaster sculpture, and then it says what sort, describe the project, and then they've said detailing a cast of a person's hand. When would you like it to start? As soon as possible. And that's all you've got to go on. And at that point, I would pay 2 credits. I'm not sure how much a credit's worth, but you have to basically buy credits from Bark to then respond to messages. And that's just in order to respond to messages. It doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get the job, even if you wanted the job, and even if it was going to pay what the job would, is worth. And I don't get a lot of these. I get maybe an email from Bark every, I don't know, maybe 2 a week. And obviously, okay, I'm not a plaster sculpturer, so I couldn't. I mean, I could go on YouTube, get some tutorials of how to do a detailed hand cast, and I could do the job. But then they could do the job. Like, anyone could really do it as long as you're that way inclined. And you're quite confident about making things in general. So that one, okay, that's no good for me. Next. And as my example showed, what type of artist do you want? Any. Just type describe the project that you'd like the artist to work on. Any. When would you like them to work? Soon. I wouldn't reply to this because I'm like, any? Well, am I going to be a good fit? Me, a sort of manga anime inspired comic book style artist? I don't think that, it's just, it looks like a waste of time style of message. So, okay, next. This one, what do you need? An artist. What do you want them to do? A drawing. When do you want them? Soon. Well, of course they all want it soon. And I don't like to be in this position whereby I'm now chasing a really fuzzy, blurry lead that will probably amount to nothing, because I potentially could message them, pay my money, pay my credits just to be able to message this person, just for them to tell me, yeah, I'm not looking for you at all. I'm looking for, I don't know, a portrait artist or a landscape artist or something. Right? It really doesn't make me feel like, yeah, I want to spend some money in order to message this person, just so that I can find out if the type of work would fit my style, if the budget might be my sort of thing. I have to jump through a lot of hoops just to find out even what the job is, and I even have to pay money for the privilege of doing so. So next. Okay, this one, a little bit more information. Okay, so they actually included some information about the project. This is good. So, what type of artist do you require? Artist who can produce a print design for a special birthday gift. Okay. To produce a map, vintage style, with silhouettes of cattle in front, bottom of the picture. Okay, they shouldn't be on Bark, they should be on Etsy, I can tell. When would you like it to work? Of course, they want it to, ASAP soon, whatever. So anyway, they basically said, okay, I want this vintage animal silhouette image. And then if I click see more, this is what I'll get. So a little bit more details. They've said that they're in, near Manchester in the UK. It doesn't really matter for art where they're from. And it's a bit of a weird thing, because it would be annoying to be limited if someone says you must be in London. And if you're living up in Scotland, it's like, well, you want artwork, could I just post it to you? Do you really need to meet me? Or, do we have to be in the same city or whatever? So yeah, this is what they want. Something like this, very Etsy-ish. I'm sure there are people that are producing this kind of stuff anyway. Now, for me, I could do that really easily. It's just, this is the sort of thing that people make careers out of. I don't even bother thinking about. I think it's too obvious, it's too easy, it's too, for me, boring to sit there and create this type of artwork. So I just think this is for me, well, anyone could do that type of image. However, stuff like this, if you had a map of your area and then a silhouette of, a couple on their wedding day, or a cat or a dog, or in this case some cattle, something of meaning, you could probably do quite well, make quite a lot of money. I'm probably missing a trick by sort of being a bit too snobbish about these types of jobs. But yeah, I just don't find it interesting. It's not really where I want to be. But okay, I could potentially do that if I really wanted to. Of course, with these leads, you don't get any inkling of budget, how much they're willing to pay. And if I went in there and said, yeah, I'll do it for, like, it'd probably take me, say, I don't know, 4 hours, 5 hours, say, for me to sort of find out exactly what they want, create some sort of image, whatever, so maybe half a day. How much do I think I deserve for a bespoke half a day job? Now, if I was a plumber and I was charging for half a day's worth of work, then they might say, oh, okay, I want £800. If I asked this person for £800, they would say, no way. If I said, okay, how about we halve that? How about 400? They would say, no way. If I said, okay, how about 200? They would say, no. If I said 100, they would say, it's a bit much. If I said 50, they'd be like, oh, 50, that's a tricky one, but oh yeah, go on then. This is just my experience having done this thing for a couple of decades. That's generally the gist of these types of projects. They want like a little bespoke thing. They think it will probably take you about, I don't even know if they realise how long it would take. They'd maybe think 5 minutes or, I mean, it's like plumbing. If you've got a blocked pipe and you're a plumber and you've looked at loads of blocked pipes, you know how to fix it. You could fix that pretty quick. And they think, okay, it's a 5-minute job if you know what you're doing. However, even with a plumber, what normally happens is you find the blockage, you might be able to unblock it pretty quick, but then you need to investigate the cause of the blockage and why it was happening in the first place. And that might be due to an issue a little bit more upstream, which is going to take a bit more time to resolve. Could end up being a 5-hour job. And that's typically how artwork works. I mean, occasionally you're quite lucky and you get those jobs whereby you get a quick, oh, can you design this graphic for me? And then you do it and then they pay you and it's done. Normally, in my experience, those kind of jobs only happen after you've already established a relationship with a client. You've already done work for them in the past, and then they say, oh, could you just do this thing as well? Oh, could you just do this thing as well? And then they know that there's just going to be this quick turnaround. You know them, they know you know how each other works, you know how payments and things work. So you've established all that, which takes time, takes hours to figure out and negotiate contracts or agreements or how payments are going to work, emailing back and forth and feeling established in where you're at. Yeah, so that was an example of work. And in the 2 years that I've been a member of Bark, I've only had one person ever say they wanted a manga artist, which would have fit my job description, I guess. And I didn't even message back because it was very open-ended. You want a manga artist. And if I wanted to just find people that wanted manga artists, I can go on DeviantArt and find a billion of them, but they're only willing to pay you like £5, £10, $50 or something equivalent for a quick sketch at the most. And there just doesn't seem to be any work for my genre, my style of art. So Bark, is it worth using? No, not really, is the answer to that one. So there you go. If you're an artist and you thought about signing up for this, don't waste your time. I've just saved you the time. Of course, you're welcome to try. I'm only introducing you to platforms that I've tried, something that hasn't worked in order to save people time. But if they want to go ahead, give it a go, they're more than welcome. But I gave it a go. The journey continues to become an artist, and I'll see you next time.